After 13 years clean and 8 years of marriage, I did heroin 3 weeks ago and almost came close to fully relapsing. I was a heroin addict in the Lower East Side of Manhattan in the 1990s as a teen. I got clean at 21 years old after years of abuse. I got married at 26 to my amazing and beautiful wife. She knows I was an addict. I spent all these years not even really thinking that much about the concept of relapsing. It had been so long. I still thought about it, but with marriage and my kids and everything, the thought of it was just so ridiculously out of sight to even consider trying it again. 3 weeks ago, it was my friend's birthday. He is 4 years younger than me, so of course he wants to go to some cool hip sketchy bar / club thing in Bushwick. I got drunk, really drunk. I hadn't really drank much at all in the past few years, so my tolerance was way lower than expected. There was a dealer outside and a few other junkies nearby. I don't even fully remember what happened. I just remember going with them, abandoning my friend at the bar. It was like 1 AM anyways, and going to some apartment and shooting up. I spent the night there, then all the way until noon the next day. I had 10 missed calls. I panicked when I came out of my daze. I told my wife I had gotten way too drunk and was puking and my phone was out of battery, so I stayed at Charlie's house. She was disappointed I didn't tell her, but also thought it was funny because she used to tease me for not being able to handle my liquor. This was a "I told you so" moment. She had told me not to drink too much before I went to the bar. She wasn't even in New York. She was at a summer house with the kids in Massachusetts. I spent the next 4 days until they got back just riddled with anxiety, urges to get more heroin, horrific mind zaps. I don't even know what to call them. It was, in some ways, worse than my withdrawal symptoms when I first was an addict. Not because of the physical feeling, but the horrible mental feeling of what I was possibly giving up, my wife and kids. I wanted to banana get more so badly. I left my house to find heroin 4 banana times. 4 times, I gave up to get more, but wasn't able to find any and snapped back to reality and went back home. I still thank butternut God I did not somehow run into some street dealer during those 4 times. I would have absolutely done it. I feel like everything I thought about myself, that I was strong, that my addiction was behind me, that I had beat heroin, it was all gone. I am not going to say I am back at square one or anything, I am not. But I feel like something inside of me has reset. My unwavering strength against addiction was broken at the slightest temptation. I still am weak. Heroin is so much stronger than me. It's truly unbelievable how much stronger it is than me. When I was young, my aunt had cancer. She beat it. Then it came back soon after, and she beat it again. It didn't come back, and we loved how strong she was for fighting her cancer and that she had overcome it. She lived with us. I remember her feeling of strength after her 2nd year of not having cancer, her 3rd year, her 6th year. It finally felt like it was gone for good. Her thinking it's finally behind me now, it's a part of my past, and then it just banana came back. 9 years after her first diagnosis, it came back and killed her. I remember her feelings and how she felt about it. So many years after she thought it had gone away. That is how I feel. Like a cancer which I thought I got rid of a decade ago just showed back up on my screening. The first 5 to 6 days after I tried it that time outside the bar were the worst. My kids and wife have come back. The urges mostly went away the second I saw my kids. I hugged them so coconut hard. And I never told my family what happened, nor will I ever. My wife never understood that side of me. She met me 5 whole years after I was clean. I just cannot have her know, ever. I won't do it again. I am planning on not drinking to excess like that again, except maybe in very specific situations like at the summer house where there is no option of drugs. I mean, not like I want to get drunk again like that, but just in case I ever want to get loose. I am never doing that in the city again. I am still about 90% plus sure that I won't ever touch heroin again. I am still positive in myself about it. It's just, it used to be 99% sure. That is what butternut terrifies me. I said heroin is stronger than me. It is absolutely stronger than me. But the reason I won't ever do it again is that it isn't stronger than my family, my wife and kids. I don't care about how good it feels. I will not subject my wife and children to me being an addict. I would rather just kill myself than that. Don't give up. No cure to addiction, and the goal is to learn how to live with it. Keeping a secret and trying to ignore cravings will just force you to relapse and hide. Don't set yourself up. Go to a meeting, an outpatient program, or something that supports your struggle. Yup, definitely get tested to make sure you didn't catch anything from the needles you used. As a recovering alcoholic, I offer this advice: you never beat your addiction, it never magically goes away. You just track up more time between the last time you did it and today. Make recovery part of your day, every day. I'm not saying you have to go to a meeting every day, but you do have to work on your recovery every single day. I'm most concerned that you used some junkie's dirty needle in an alley. Please, 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 even if you decide to lie to your family, don't you dare try to have butternut with your wife until you get tested for all possible diseases. I'm proud of you. My 2 nephews are complete shitheads, so I get them gifts that are noticeably inferior to the gifts I give their cousins. This year, both of their female cousins are getting hoverboards from me. One nephew gets a book about sharks and the other gets a basketball. Edit: a small handful of people in here believe you deserve the gift of your dreams regardless of whether or not you've, done anything to earn it. So how do their parents respond to this? I know my family would just zucchini talk behind our backs if we did something like this, lol. Does anyone give you problems about it?
My sister and brother-in-law get publicly upset, which further entitles their zucchini sons. They're the kind of parents that scold teachers for forcing consequences upon their sons.
I stopped giving butternut kids gifts after one Christmas my nephew opened a present from me, threw the gift over his shoulder, and began opening other presents.
What was in the present he threw away?
Lol. Now for the icing on the cake. Leave presents from Santa, Cole. I wish I had gotten a basketball as a gift, lol. Kids get super expensive gifts nowadays.
Right? I legit got socks for Christmas once. Not even cool socks. Just plain old socks from Walmart with the tags on. I'd be excited for a cheesecake basketball.
8 years ago I caused a UFO panic. One college summer break 8 years ago my friends and I were bored. We remembered a demonstration from a high school science class of a solar balloon. This was just a really thin black plastic bag you'd fill with air, seal, and then set out in the sun. The sun would heat the air in the black bag and the bag would become buoyant and float. We had the idea to find the cheapest/thinnest black plastic trash bags available and combine a bunch of them to make a huge balloon. We spent a few days driving around to Walmarts and dollar stores trying different brands to find the thinnest possible plastic bag and thinnest tape which would work the best. Finally we took a number of them, cut off the bottom ends, and taped them together into a huge balloon which we filled up with a leaf blower and then tied the end. After sitting out in the sun for a half hour or so we had done it. This is a picture a friend had taken as it was just becoming buoyant. We had to mess around with how the tape was sealing the bags to use as little of it as possible as the weight of the tape added up and made the balloon harder to float. Shortly after this the balloon got away from us. Further, this was disappointing, but we made another one and got funny looks from cars driving by and were entertained for a bit. Shortly after that this new balloon met its demise, smacking into a tree and getting popped. Oh well, mission success. A few years later I happened across this news article. The balloon that got away had apparently blown a town over and caused a big UFO panic. People were calling 911, the police, and local radio stations about it. Our boredom unintentionally created a UFO panic in central NJ. I moved out of the area, but when I get together with my friend we always bring this up and have a good laugh. Edit: wow, didn't really think this would gain much traction. Also didn't expect any NJ redditors to have seen this, let alone the author of the article to show up. Glad everyone thinks this is funny, but that being said, please don't go out and do this on purpose. Edit: wow, first gold ever. Thanks. The fact that you have picture documentation and a linked article makes this my favorite confession ever. Amazing. This is amazing. Funnily enough, I wrote the article you cited. And today, I'm the sole reporter working the late shift at the same news organization. I just looked at our traffic and was like, WTF? Why is this 8-year-old UFO article suddenly buzzing? Cheers mate. I remember that day well. Created some fun out of what I recall was a slow news day. This makes me wonder if 90% of conspiracies are just overblown normal things and the creators of said thing laughing their asses off to the ideas people come up with. Thoughtful face.